And next part of our program is Sunday Fish class. And today's class going to be presented by His Grace Harinamamrita Prabhu. Harinamamrita Prabhu is a senior Vaishnava of our congregation. Prabhu is big support for the temple in the aspect of finance and also physically present in the temple and guiding us. So Prabhu preaches about Supreme Lord and also reading the Chaitanya Charitamrita group, reading group. So with that we will welcome Prabhu by loudly chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Prabhu, over to you.
Yes, that's good. Hare Krishna devotees, Hare Krishna Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. I'm very much thankful to Satyasar Prabhu and Jaya Mother, Subhadra Mataji, to give me the permission to give this class today. Though I have got my computer, but it is so old, that's why I did not bring my computer. It needs always connected to the line. So instead, I have printed it out and I'll just read from the print. So, Hare Krishna to you again. And also, tomorrow is my wife Sunita's birthday. So we'll be celebrating that too also. So with that, I need your blessings so that I'm able to speak properly and correctly in the framework of our parampara, and so that I should not deviate from anything or should not add of my own opinions or anything. But this is all from the textbooks, from the scriptures. So I'll start with that. And Prabhuji, are you going to go ahead? Yes. Jaya Radha Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridhari Yashodananda Bhajajana Ranjana Yashodananda Bhajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashoda Nandana Prajaja Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Prajaja Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vadachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everybody. You may have noticed some different in me. Since last 2 weeks, I have seen so many have, especially Prabhuji, Prabhuji, he's showing mustache. His father also. So I thought, why? Well, when I was in high school, I used to have mustache, and it's been such a long time. Even when I married, I had no mustache. My wife never saw me in mustache, and finally I thought, well, let me try. So I started growing mustache. He also has got, he used to have a mustache also, you know. Yeah, in your photograph on your web, it shows with you with a mustache. Yeah. So today's verse is text 8.17. That is the verse I have selected to talk about, and before that, 8.17. 8.17. Yeah. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sahasra Yuga Parantam Aharyat Brahmano Viduha Ratrim Yuga Sahasratram Te Aho Ratra Vidho Janaha Jana. Sino means word by word translation. Sahasra, 1000. Okay, I'll keep on reading. Yuga, millenniums. Parantam, including. Aha, day. Yat, that which. Brahmana, O Brahma. Viduha, they know. Ratim, night. Yuga, millenniums. Sahasra, anta. Similarly, ending after 1000. Te, they, aha, ratim, day and night. Vidaha, who understands. Janaha, people. Translation. By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's one day. And such also is the duration of his night. Can you all repeat? Anybody wants to repeat? Sahasratam Translations. Anybody else? Yatriyam yugasastaram Teho ratra vidujanaha.
By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of his night.
From the children, anybody? Pariyatam Okay, purport. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The duration of the material universe is limited. It is manifested in cycles of kalpas. A kalpa is a day of Brahma, and the day of Brahma consists of 1,000 cycles of 4 yugas, or ages, which are Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. The cycle of Satya is characterized by virtue, wisdom, and religion. There being practically no ignorance or vice, and the Yuga lasts 1.728 million years. In the Treta Yuga, vice is mentioned, and this Yuga lasts 1.29 million years. In the Dwapar Yuga, there is an even greater decline in virtue and religion. Vice increases, and this yuga lasts 846,000 years. Finally, in the Kali Yuga, the yuga in which now being experienced over the past 5,000 years, there you have to bear with me, huh? Because of my age, I'm little, shaky always. So, is an abundance of strife, ignorance, irreligion, and vice. Then, true virtue being practically non-existent, and this yuga lasts 432 years. In Kali Yuga, vice increases to such a point that at the termination of the yuga, the Supreme Lord himself appears as the Kalki avatar, vanishes the demons, saves his devotees, and commences another Satya Yuga, that is another cycle. Then the process is set rolling again. These 4 yugas, rotating 1,000 times, comprise one day of Brahma, and the same number comprise one night. Brahma lives 100 of such years and then dies. These 100 years, by Earth's calculations, total to 311 trillion and 40 billion years. Wow! Anybody wants to live that long? I don't. By these calculations, the life of Brahma seems fantastic and interminable, but from the viewpoint of eternity, it is as brief as a lightning flash. In the casual ocean, there are innumerable Brahmas rising and disappearing like bubbles in the Arctic Ocean. Brahma and his creation are all parts of the material universe, and therefore they are in constant flux. In the material universe, not even Brahma is free from the process of birth, old age, disease, and death. Brahma, however, is directly engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord in the management of this universe. Therefore, he at once attains liberation. Oh, okay, thank you. Elevated sannyasis are promoted to Brahma's particular planet, Brahma Loka, which is the highest planet in the material universe and which survives all the heavenly planets in the upper strata of the planetary system. But in due course, Brahma and all the inhabitants of Brahma Loka are subject to death according to the law of material nature. Om Ajnana Timurandasya Jnana Jana Salakaya Chaksur Anmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadavayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahakaran Raghutatam Vitam Tam Tajivam Sadvetam Tavadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahakaran Raghunatham Vitam Cha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishnu Bhanu Sute Devi Paramani Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya cha Kripa Sindhu Bhaya Eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 88, verse 17, which we are reading, Lord Krishna explains, by human calculations, 1,000 ages taken together is the duration of Brahma's one day. How many ages? 1,000 ages together is the duration of Brahma's one day. And such also is the duration of his night. Thus, 1,000 ages entered within a single 12-hour night when Lord Krishna performed his rasa dance. This inconceivable compression of time to the fact that many universes fit nearly within the 40-mile range of earthly Vrindavan. Or one may consider that Mother Yashoda could not even circle the small abdomen of child Krishna with numerous ropes, and that at one time he manifested many universes within his mouth. Beautiful. That is the potency. Yeah? The transcendence of spiritual reality above and beyond mundane physics is concisely explained in Srila Rupa Goswami's Lagu Bhagavad Amrita. It is evam prabhaho priyanam cha dhamascha sanyas yasya cha avinchinta prabhavatad atra kinchitna durgatam. The translation of this verse is, nothing is impossible for the Lord, his dear devotees, his transcendental abode, or the time of his pastimes, for all these entities are inconceivably powerful. So this was the translation. The material manifestation the material manifestation's ultimate particle is called the atom. It is the minute, subtle form of eternal time. In modern science also, the atom is accepted as the ultimate indivisible particle of which the universe is composed. The material body is but a combination of such atoms. One can estimate time by measuring the movement of the atomic combination of bodies. Time is the potency of the Almighty Personality of Godhead, Sri Hari. Time and space are two correlative terms. Standard time is calculated in terms of the movement of the sun. The time covered by the sun is passing over an atom is calculated as atomic time. All the planets rotate and cover space, and space is calculated in terms of atoms. The atom is described as an invisible particle, but when six such atoms combined together are visible in the sunshine pouring through the holes of a window screen. Such a combination of atoms into different bodies creates the calculation of material time. That is a material time. So 30 days comprise of 1 month and 12 months comprise 1 year, 1 calendar year, and one full orbit of the sun. Or the one full orbit of the sun. A number being expected, a human being is expected to live up to 100 years. That is the way of the controlling measure of eternal time. Every living being lives for 100 years in terms of the times in different planets for different entities. These 100 years of life are not equal to every case. The longest duration of 100 years belongs to Brahma. But although the life of Brahma is very long, it expires in the course of time. Brahma is also afraid of his death, and thus he performs devotional service to the Lord just to release himself from the clutches of illusory energy. It is necessary that every human being is responsible in preparing himself for the next life. Even if he has a duration of life like of Brahma, the greatest of all living creatures within the universe. The 100 years of Brahma's life are divided into two parts, the first half and the second half. The first half of the duration of Brahma's life is already over, and the second half is now current. The entire duration of the life of Brahma is calculated to be less than a second of the Lord's time, and it is explained in the Brahma Samhita 5.48 as follows. I worship Govinda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, whose plenary portion is Mahavishnu. All the heads of the innumerable universes of Brahma live only by taking shelter of the time occupied by one of his breath. While he's taking one breath, that is a time. Eternal time is never lost along with the life of Brahma. It continues, but it has no ability to control the Supreme Personality of Godhead because the Lord is the controller of time. Time can control only those who are bodily conscious. Even up to the Satyaloka, all the other higher planets of the universe. Even up to the Satyaloka or the other higher planets of the universe. The Supreme Lord is Krishna, the original personality of Godhead, known as Govinda. His form is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge, and he is the original cause of all causes. Sukadeva Goswami said, when the cowherd girls heard the Supreme Personality of Godhead speaking charming words, they forgot their distress caused by separation from him. Touching his transcendental limbs, they felt all the desires fulfilled. There on the Yamuna's bank, Lord Govinda then began the pastime of the Rasa dance in the company of those jewels among women, the faithful gopis who joyfully linked their arms together. The festive Rasa dance commences with the gopis arrayed in a circle. Lord Krishna expanded himself and entered between each pair of gopis. You also had said this one last time. Yeah. Gopis arrayed in a circle. Lord Krishna expanded himself and entered between each pair of gopis, and as that master of mystics, power placed his arms around the necks, each gopi thought he was standing next to her alone. The demigods and their wives were overwhelmed with eagerness to witness the rasa dance, and they soon crowded the sky with their hundreds of celestial airplanes. Kettle drums then resounded in the sky, while flowers rained down, and the chief Gandharvas and their wives sang the Lord's spotless glories. In the midst of the dancing gopis, Lord Krishna appeared most brilliant, like an exquisite sapphire in the midst of the golden ornaments. As the gopis sang in praise of Krishna, their feet danced, their hands gestured, and their eyebrows moved with playful smiles. With their braids and belts tight, their waist bending, their faces perspiring, the garments of their breast moving this way and that, and their earrings swinging on their cheeks. Earrings swinging on their cheeks. Lord Krishna's young consorts shone like streaks of lightning in the mass of clouds. Eager to enjoy conjugal love, their throats colored with various pigments, the gopis sang loudly and danced. They were overjoyed by Krishna's touch, and they sang songs songs that filled the entire universe. One gopi joined Lord Mukunda in his singing, sang pure melodious tones that rose harmoniously above his. Krishna was pleased and showed great appreciation for her performance, saying, "Excellent, excellent." What did he say? Excellent, excellent. Yeah. Then another gopi repeated the same melody, but in a special metrical pattern. And Krishna praised her also. When one gopi grew special, when one gopi grew tired from the rasa dance, she turned to Krishna, standing at her side, holding a baton, and grabbed his shoulder with her arm. The dancing had loosened her bracelets and the flowers in her hair. Upon the shoulder of one gopi, Krishna placed his arm, whose natural blue lotus fragrance was mixed with all the plant. Fragrance was mixed with, yeah. I'm looking at the wrong page. mixed with that of the sandalwood pulp, anointing it. As the gopi relished the fragrance, her bodily hair stood on end in jubilation, and as she kissed his arm. Next to Krishna's cheek, one gopi put her own, beautified by the effulgence of her earrings, which glittered as she danced. Krishna then carefully gave her the betel nut which he was chewing. Another gopi became fatigued as she danced and, and sang, the bells on her ankles and waist tingling. So she placed upon her breast the comforting lotus hand of Lord Achyuta, who was standing by her side. Having attained as their intimate love Lord Achyuta, the exclusive consort of the goddess of fortune, the gopis enjoyed great pleasure. They sang the glories as he held their necks with his arms. Enhancing the beauty of the gopis' faces were the lotus flowers behind their ears, the locks of hair decorating their cheeks, and droplets of perspiration. The reverberation of their armlets and the ankle bells made a loud musical sound, and their chaplets scattered. Thus the gopis danced with the Supreme Lord as in the arena of the rasa dance, as swarms of bees sang in accompaniment. In this way, Lord Krishna, the original Lord Narayana, master of the goddess of fortune, took pleasure in the company of the young women of Raja by embracing them, piercing them, and glancing lovingly at them as he smiled his broad, playful smile. It was just as if a child were playing with his own reflection. Their senses overwhelmed by the joy of having his physical association, the gopis could not prevent their hair, their dresses, and their clothes covering their breast from becoming disheveled. Their garments and ornaments scattered. The wives of the demigods, observing Krishna's playful activities from the airplanes, were entranced and became agitated with lust. Indeed, even the moon and his entourage, the stars, became astonished, expanding himself as many times as there were coward women who to associate with the Supreme Lord, those self-satisfied, playfully enjoyed their company. Seeing that gopis were fatigued from conjugal enjoyment, mercifully Krishna lovingly wiped their faces with his comforting hand. Wow! Would you like to be wiped by the Krishna's hands? Huh? Yes. Everybody, yes. The gopis honored their hero with smiling glances, sweetened by the beauty of their cheeks and the effulgence of their curling locks and glittering golden earrings. Overjoyed from the touch of his fingernails, they chanted the glories of his all auspicious transcendental pastimes. Lord Krishna's garland had been crushed during his conjugal dalliance, and the gopis and the colored vermilion by the kumkum powder on their breast. To dispel the fatigue of gopis, to dispel the fatigue of the gopis, Krishna entered the water of the Yamuna, followed swiftly by bees who were singing like the best of the Gandharvas. He appeared like a lordly elephant entering the water to relax in the company of his consorts. Even the Lord had transgressed all worldly and Vedic morality, just as a powerful elephant might break the dikes in the paddy field. In the water, Krishna found himself being splashed on by all sides by the laughing gopis who looked at him with love. As the demigods worshipped him by showering flowers from the airplanes, the self-satisfied Lord took pleasure in playing like the king of the elephants. Then the Lord strolled through the small forest on the bank of the Yamuna. This forest was filled to its limits with breezes carrying the fragrances of all the flowers growing on the land and in the water. Followed by his entourage of bees and beautiful women, Lord Krishna appeared like an intoxicated elephant, with his she-elephants. Although the gopis were firmly attached to Lord Krishna, whose desires are always fulfilled, the Lord was not internally affected by any mundane sex desire. Still, to perform his pastimes as Lord took advantage of all those moonlight autumn nights, which inspired poetic descriptions of transcendental affairs. When the Lord assumed a human-like body to show mercy to his devotees, he engages in such pastimes as well as attracts those who hear about them to become dedicated to him. Beautiful. The coward man, bewildered by Krishna's illusory potency, thought their wives had remained home at their sides. Thus they did not harbor any jealousy feelings against him. After an entire night of Brahma had passed, Lord Krishna advised the gopis to return to their homes. Although they did not wish to do so, the Lord's beloved consort compiled with his command. Anyone who faithfully hears or describes the Lord's playful affairs with the young gopis of Vrindavana will attain the Lord's pure devotional service. Everybody wants to attain the pure Lord's devotional service. Thus, he quickly became sober and conquer. Thus, he will quickly become sober and conquer lust, the disease of the heart. And now all this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, verses from 1 to 39. And this is translated by Sri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Now further, Lord Krishna advised the gopis to assume the success of these pastimes. You and I should keep them secret. Krishna manifested embarrassment and fear in their elders within the gopis' hearts, and therefore it was only with great reluctance that the young gopis returned home. Hare Krishna. Everybody has got any question, any comments, or any suggestions? You can tell me, or you can inform Mr. Satyasar Prabhu about my reading this one and teaching from the grade of 1 poor to 5 not so poor. So in between poor and not so poor, you can grade and inform Satyasar Prabhu for about me. Hare Krishna. Anybody, any questions? Any comment? Yes, lovely.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your wonderful class and reading of one of our very intimate pastimes of the Lord. And it's always pleasure to hear from the devotees about the pastimes of the Lords and the glories. I was little bit trying to relate the shloka with the pastime that you read. Just one thing that this entire episode lasted for the entire one night of Brahma. What could be the other relevant correlation with the narration that you did today, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the one night of Brahma, we saw how long it is of this material time, on material time period. So that long they were dancing. Very long time, very, very long time. But it seems like nothing. It seems like nothing because Lord's one breathing, once he breathes, that is one night. And once he breathes out, once breathe he is one night. No? Inhales a night and breathes out for one day. So that was the time period. And that time period, as per the human time, was such a long time, and they were dancing. And that was the very, very transcendental time, transcendental dance also. And even to know about this and read in the Srimad Bhagavatam is so lovely that sometimes you feel like the tears come in your eyes. It's very, very good. Why? Because we are also the spirit souls. And because of spirit souls, when we read the spiritual pastimes of Lord Hare Krishna, we feel that we as his servants, we also are with him. And that's what we are, always are with him. The more we remember him, the more we think about him, the more we do the devotional service for him, we are purifying ourselves. We are purifying ourselves so that one day, with the blessings, we will be with him. Anybody, Prabhuji?
May I comment, Prabhu?
Yes, sure, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, that's a brilliant question, how you connect with this verse. At least to me, many of you have seen Mahabharata serial when you're growing up in India. What is the first line it says? May samay hoon. Have you heard about this? So I am time, Krishna says. So when I was reading Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse, Kalosmi Lokaksha Krit. So then I understood, okay, this is what Mahabharata serial says, may time home, right? So in this, Krishna is telling us that when he does pastime, he is not controlled by time. So this verse that Prabhu picked, 17th verse, talks about the time in the material world in comparison to Brahma. So it's a relative world, so everything is relative. So the relative world is because it's related to time, so we perceive things in that relation. So everything, for example, the reason I'm quoting that Kalosmi, Lokakshayakrit, he says that the time has a destructive aspect. So everything is destroyed in this world because of time. So every rising of sun and setting of sun, we all get old. So eventually we'll get old and we pass away. Take birth again and the time makes everything happen. But when the Lord comes and does pastime, whether in this material world with his eternal associates or in Aprakata Leela, in the unmanifested pastime in the spiritual world, time doesn't control the Lord. So that is this pastime is. Because, correct. So the time controls the conditioned souls in the material world. Two things time does. It controls us, it destroys us. Controls means, so we are sitting in the temple, we are attending the program. After some time, everybody will be hungry. So we'll do Arati, then we'll eat Prasadam. So what happens after Prasadam? We go home because we remember, okay, I have to do this work, I have to do that work. So everything is controlled by the time only, if you think about it. Even if you do not want to do it, but you are forced to do it. See, you have to sleep. So I'm going to sit in the temple only, I'm going to defeat time. Your body will get so tired and you will be forced to sleep. See? So this is how time controls every conditioned souls. But when the Lord comes to this world, He is not controlled by time and there is no destructive aspect of time for Him. So He wants to perform pastimes with His devotees. He can expand time. So it shows that I control the time, not time controls me. So the kalosmi lokak shayak krit doesn't apply to the Supreme Lord when He does the pastime. So that's how this sloka, I connect to this sloka.
Yes,
Prabhu.
yes, yeah. Because I had a limited time, and with limited time I had to put all these things together, and I could not put all together because of the time again. So we are controlled by time also. We are controlled by time.
So that's how we should see it.
How Krishna expands the time. You mentioned like, he expands the time, right?
Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna, He is the source of everything. And He is the source of everything. He can expand the time, He can reduce the time. He can reduce the time of me, or He can increase the time of me. I can live 100 years, or I may die next moment. The time is in His control. Why? Because He is the source of all the sources. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, just adding on to what Prabhu said, He is the source of time. So time is the energy of Krishna. So all the energies exist. For example, Ichcha Shakti. Krishna desires, then Kriya Shakti comes, makes it happen. Satya Sankalpa Shakti makes it happen. So all these energies exist to serve the Lord, to give Him pleasure. So time is also, Kala Shakti, is part of Kriya Shakti. So when Krishna desires something, it has to happen. So time is the agent which makes that happen. So in order to give pleasure to Krishna, time expands because that's a desire. If the desire is, okay, I'm done, Krishna thinks, okay, I want to do something else, that time shrinks. So that's why if you see, the time as we see in this world is different from the time manifests in the spiritual world. So Prabhu was quoting the Brahma Samhita verse. Brahma says, there's no passage of time in spiritual world. How do you perceive this? How do you comprehend this? Because time passes. So in the material world, time passes in the cyclical manner. So Satya Yuga, Treta, Dwapara, Kali, then again Satya comes. So it destroys everything. But in the spiritual world, according to Brahma, there's no passage of time. Then how does Krishna's pastime happen? Yes, so time is there in the spiritual world, but not the way we perceive time in the material world. So the time is there to make his Ichcha to manifest, but not in the way of controlling that, or not in the way of disturbing that, but to way to increase the pleasure of the Lord. It's very tough to understand until we come to that platform where you see time in a very completely different dimension. Because we know only time in the chronological order. I will tell you that another bewildering thing. Krishna does the Balya pastime, Sakya pastime and Madhurya pastime simultaneously. Meaning Mother Yashoda wait for Krishna to return from Govardhan with cows and the palace. Nanda Maharaj will be waiting, oh my son is going to come, so let's ready in the evening. Subal and Madhumangal will be playing with Krishna. At the same time, Mother Yashoda is waiting for Krishna to come. Radharani gets ready in Yavat, getting everything ready to meet Krishna in the forest. All these things happen simultaneously. That means for Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, the time is Krishna is a baby, is a Balya Lila, he's performing. For Madhumangal and others, Krishna is Pauganda, 5 to 10. For Radharan is 10 and above. How is this possible that Krishna can exhibit different ages simultaneously? That is his reciprocation to his devotees. So that time operates very differently in the spiritual world compared to material world. Material world always is chronological. Krishna was born or appeared, is growing up, killing Putana, Trinavat. So like that, the time is chronological here. So we see the past times. But spiritual world, it manifests very differently. We cannot understand from material consciousness. Make sense to you? So time expands because it is meant to increase Krishna's pleasure. Or time decreases because Krishna wants to do something else, the varieties. So time manifests to create varieties for the Lord, not for destroying or controlling or disturbing the pastime. So it is completely under Krishna's control because it's the energy of the Lord. That's why me, samay, hum. That's the meaning. It's under me. And I am Krishna. I am time. I am transcendental. Make sense? So that's how we should see that.
Hare Krishna Prabhus. This is such a complex subject for my material mind, but I'm reminded of a pastime with Tamal Krishna Goswami and Srila Prabhupada very early in his Krishna conscious career, where in trying to explain this concept to my Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada simply said, in the spiritual world, you can eat a sweet ball forever.
This is exactly what I said. Prabhu was saying it in one line. You can do service and you can keep on doing it eternally, but you won't get tired and time expands.
And also the time is effective in the material world, not in the spiritual world. In spiritual world, there is no time. It is timeless. So, you have a question?
Time exists in the spiritual world, but not the way we perceive in the material world, as I explained. So, all glories to Tamal Krishna Maharaj and all glories to Prabhupada. A beautiful explanation.
Yes.
You can keep on sweeping, but you won't get tired.
Prabhu, I have one reflection I want to. Yeah. So the past time, so when Prabhu is saying that time is there in the spiritual world, but it is not forcing, whereas in the material world we are getting forced. So I heard one example, maybe it works to relate it. So a painter who is always paints to lead his life. So because he forced to do, otherwise if he is not painting, he cannot eat the food. If a rich person want to do the painting after a lengthy day of work, he comes home and paints. So he need not do that paint. He need not sell that painting, but he does. It's for pleasure. So here he is also painting, the painter also painting. But see how the painter is forced to do paint, but this rich person painting on its own will. So this is what our action, and the same action done by Krishna is a pastime. Why we call whatever we do, it is an action. Whatever Krishna do, we call pastime. Because he need not do, but he does it. Probably to understand how the forcing and not forcing is that. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Something related to pastime only. Because we are discussing the pastime of the Lord and wonderful pastimes. We call it pastimes, but that is still happening. Right? So when we say in Vrindavan, Ras Leela is happening from eternal, like always. It's every day. It's there. So for us it is pastime, but for Lord it is actually happening. Right now also it is happening. So it's really hard to use our brain, means at least for me, Prabhu, it's very mind-boggling to think about time in relation to the activities that Lord perform. So That's all I can say. I mean, if you have something more to comment.
And when Prabhuji, when he asked me about on what subject I'm going to talk, I said, well, the subject I'm selecting is very, very complicated. Nobody touches this subject. And so he said, okay, go ahead. And so I selected the time and the pastimes. Time and pastime. So time and pastime, like time together. So material time and pastime, spiritual time.
Hare Krishna. Quick question about on the purport, Prabhupada, I know we all are talking about time, but my question is about purport. Prabhupada mentions that after the 100 years, Lord Brahma also dies, right? He mentions on the purport. So what happens to Brahma, Prabhuji? Is he going to take a birth here as a human being, or because he did the dedicated service to Lord, taking care of his universe, he will straight go back to, Vaikuntha or Goloka when he annihilates to Mahavishnu, when he inhale? What happens to Brahma, Prabhuji?
Well, as we saw in today's class, Brahmaji, he is doing the devotional service for Lord Sri Krishna. And because of why he is doing the devotional service, he is being given to do this duty, and he performs his duty perfectly so that he gets moksha, he gets liberation, he gets liberated. And once he gets liberated, then whoever the other devotees who are higher devotees, they get promoted to the Brahmaloka, to become a Brahma. And once they again finishes their period, then another one would be there. So this is what it is already mentioned in the slokas, and everything is given. And that's what we looked at it today also. Prabhuji, you want to add anything?
Thank you for the wonderful question. Thank you, Prabhu, for I'm just adding on to what Prabhu said. So not all Brahmas will go back to Krishna also, so that's not exit path.
Sometimes they fall below.
Right. Sometimes they glide down as well because based on the nature they develop. Sometimes so I am a creator, so I am a doer. So the doership mentality may manifest even for Brahma because you are still in the material world. So there is a possibility. So in that case, you glide down from that position. The Brahma is a position. So the jiva takes birth again and get association from the devotees, then exit, go to Krishna like that. But current Brahma for our universe is a pure devotee, so we are very, very lucky because he will exit, he will go back to Krishna as per the Shastra. So by following the current Brahma, we all can also go back to Krishna. That's why we are Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. Our Brahma is a pure devotee of the Lord. So he established, he is a Stapakacharya for the entire parampara. So it is that's why we follow that. It's a path. But not all Brahmas in all universes will end their birth. They'll take birth again. Possibility is there.
He's our chairman in Detroit Temple. According to him, no Brahma goes back to Godhead straight. Everyone has to come here, no matter what, because he has written over 52 books, and he has one these two. He says, even Brahma is demigod. Everyone knows, right? And every single demigod has to come here, even Indra, everything. But I was curious, and I was kind of looking for if we have any scriptural reference on that. Or, I know devotee has been saying, and they might have different opinion on this, right? But I was just curious if you have any scriptural reference where we can see it written that our Brahma goes, or what happens to him. The conversation actually started by Indra and talking about heavens, what happens to Indra. He also kind of does the service, but we have found that he has to take a birth. We already found the scriptural evidence, but for Brahma, we have not found so far. So I was kind of curious.
I can send you the scriptural reference for sure. So that's why Krishna says that, "A Brahma Bhona Loka Punaravartino Arjuna." So it happens to Brahma, absolutely there is a possibility of falling down. Though he is a great devotee, not compared to us. Otherwise, you won't be a Brahma. You know, you can go and see Siradaksha Vishnu on the Svetadvip. Do we have the power? I want to see Vishnu. You go there and Vishnu just gives you darshan. So definitely he is much, much elevated Vaishnava. But general path is they just take birth because of the attachment, the influence of the modes. But our Brahma is a pure devotee. It's in the Shastra actually. I'll send you the reference, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, devotees, for your questions, comments, and reflections sharing. Thank you, Prabhuji. That's a wonderful, though it is a complex topic. Thank you for explaining us. So we are moving on to the next part of our program is Arati. Today, Arati Kirtan going to sing by Jishnu.
Okay, Dandavat Pranam to you all, everybody, and thank you for your blessings. Hare Krishna.
Can you turn the lights off?
Stick to the Hare Krishna Mahamantra only.
Oh,
Please, because new people are coming.
oh. It's a very simple one, Prabhu. It just Radha God. Yeah, I'll keep more. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadardhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine
Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine
What's next? What's the next one, Prabhu?
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
I said that.
Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Nitya Gaur Hari Bol,
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Nitya Gaur Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की नवदीप धाम की यमुना देवी गंगा देवी तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की बृहत मृदंगा की हरिनाम संकीर्तन की सामवेद भक्त वृंद की गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna Temple of Austin ki. Hari Hari Bol.
Okay. Namaste Narasingaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Prahaladaladaine.
Prahaladaladaine.
Hiranyakashipu rakshaha.
Hiranyakashiporvakshaha.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Ito Narsingha Parato Narsingha.
Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho.
Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsingha.
Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimho.
Bahir Narsingha Hridaye Narsingha.
Bahir Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho.
Narasingamadim Sharanam Prapadye.
Narasingamadim Sharanam Prapadye.
Tavakara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shingam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadvaita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare
तव कर कमलवरे नाखाम अद्भुत शृंगाम दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गाम केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद
जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद
जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव
गुरुदेव
गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
नित्य गौर हरि बोल
हरि बोल
हरि बोल
हरि बोल
हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
जय जय प्रभुपाद
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 प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद नरसिंह भगवान की प्रहलाद महाराज की गौर प्रेमानंद
Thank you, Jishnu, for the wonderful Kirtan. Thank you, Radha Damodar Prabhu, for